All right, let me pull up my email here. So we just started live streaming, but Knobs and I have been talking about the Raptor 2012 summary email. So let me see if I can find that thing. There's the weekly one. God, I get so much email.
I don't remember you used to barely like not get any.
Yeah, now I get way too much.
Like if I couldn't delete emails from my phone, my inboxes would be out of control.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, here we go. Personalized 2012 gaming summary. Let me click on it here.
I totally was not expecting this.
All right,
And
so
when I got it in my email, I was like, "Oh my god, that's
I was
awesome!"
like, ooh. All right. Total hours tracked. I have 389. What did you have?
Wow, I had 250.
Wow. Total games played 78.
Wow, that's 51.
I play a lot of stuff. Total achievements earned 843, but I think that's because it scraped everything this year.
Yeah, it might be why mine's so high too.
Yeah, I don't think
Mine's 377. I don't think my PSN account's linked very well to this either.
Oh, see, 377 sounds more normal for a year. Like 843, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I couldn't have gotten too many.
So, what was your most played?
Borderlands 2 with 157 hours, but it didn't chart all of those hours correctly.
So you think it's higher?
Oh, it's easily double that.
Then I wonder how mine is. Mine's 183.
I think you installed Raptor later than a lot of people did, though. Like after you'd been playing Blands.
I don't really remember. I mean, if it's a year, I mean, I don't think everybody got this. I think
I
it's
know it
year
only
events.
tracks hours when you have the desktop app installed, so it can see like when you sign in, when you sign out, and then it compares, or however it does it.
Yeah, I don't know how it does it because I know it's missing a whole bunch of achievements. I do know that.
Are you running the desktop app?
Yeah, I got it on now.
That's weird. Usually, once you run the desktop app and you sync it through the app, it usually picks all that stuff up. That's weird. My second one was Persona 4 Golden, and then Virtue's Last Reward. After
Yeah,
that.
see, I don't have any PSN stuff on there at all because I have Left 4 Dead 2 at 21 hours,
That's way low.
and then I have Dead or Alive 5 at 17, which I think is pretty close at the time when this came out.
Oh yeah.
That's only been like the last couple weeks, but I do like. What's your rarest achievement?
Darksiders 2: The Book of the Dead.
What's the percentage?
5.9.
Wow, mine's Tac Lock Takedown from Crackdown 2.
Oh,
It's 1.84%
holy
of
shit.
users.
That's ridiculous. I'm surprised more people didn't finish The Book of the Dead in Darksiders 2. That was fun.
Which one was the Book of the Dead?
That was
Oh, all the pages.
the
Yeah,
pages.
yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I liked that.
I don't remember if I got that one or not.
Most played of 2012. Most played in month is November.
Mine was December.
Most played date of 2012 was November 24th. I don't even
Mine
know
was
what
Mine was December 20th on a Sunday.
That makes sense. That's more of a like Christmas time break sort of thing. Yeah, most played for mine was Sunday.
Oh, God, I got a phone call. I'll be back. Okay.
Hi to everyone watching in the chat. Oh, it still says I'm offline. That's weird. There we go. That's better. Oh, it's just me in chat. Haha. Well, if you'd like to watch this live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Or later on that channel. Or on YouTube. Put it everywhere. Not picky. It's okay. I don't know if I've given Winemaker Joe a call out for this guy right here. Awesome. Managed to survive the trip from Ohio to California. Shoved somewhere in the back of my car across a 2,500-mile car ride. And it's awesome. Got nothing to talk about.
Wow. Get in here. So it seems that keeping the dogs in here seems to be less of an chance of them barking uncontrollably.
Oh, like they just kind of hang out.
Yeah, they just kind of sit around here and sleep.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, and then of course COD Blops is the game of the year,
Yeah.
most played. Shocker.
Not too surprising.
But yeah, the thing that was confusing me, like look at Dead Space 3 here, just as an example. I got so much insulation in my fucking face, I can't breathe.
That's probably not good.
Fuck, I can't. 2 days of this shit. Yeah, because the ones, where is it? Secret achievements. Yeah, complete Stranger in a New Land. It's complete the prologue. Like, how have I not have done that and I played through the game 3 times?
Which game's that?
It's Dead Space 3.
Oh, weird.
Complete your first spacewalk, which happens like 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I wonder why it's not tracking that stuff.
Yeah, use the skip system, Snow Crash, reach Tau Valtis. Obviously, I had to do that if I beat the game.
Weird.
But it gave me track for finding Peng, which I did on my 3rd playthrough.
See, that's why I have the Raptor desktop app installed on my computer at work and at home. The one at work always stays on, so it's always charting my stuff. It seems weird if you don't have the app open while you're playing.
Huh. Maybe I should do that.
Which seems kind of like it's 2013. It seems like it should be able to scrape this stuff, but maybe the Xbox Live site isn't good about that.
But I wonder if the Xbox Live site, it would have to have this stuff cataloged already.
Yeah, you would think you'd at least be able to say, yeah, I got the achievement, not, what date I got it on or whatever. Sometimes the Xbox Live site doesn't track that stuff right, but...
Well, I mean, the date doesn't...
Congratulations! You have been personally selected to share your opinion in an anonymous survey. Please complete this 30-second questionnaire. And to
stop it! Is anybody there for this shit?
There's maybe one person watching. I mean, it's going in the archives, too. Oh, good times.
Oh, I don't even know what's coming that up. I'm about ready to tear this thing down and start over again.
Just reinstall your OS.
Yes, I fucked it up anyway.
Yeah.
Games. Where is... Wow, this site's completely different from the last time I was here.
Which one?
Full service
Oh
bankruptcy.
my god!
Is there anything to tell me, Jeff?
You know, these ads just started showing up.
Actually,
Yes,
Google
these
goes
ads
through
just
every
started
single word
showing
in each
up.
email and uses that information to sell ads.
Google uses...
Oh.
That's the most self-aware ad. Are you getting sick of pop-up ads? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Dicks.
I'm scared to click on anything else right now.
Just get off the internet, man. Cut the cord. Run away. Gibby Nader's in chat. He's enjoying this.
I'm sure he is. Yes, those all seem pretty accurate. It's got them all, loaded up on there.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not. Let me see, reach for... What is that? I don't even know what that is.
The internet?
Craft a weapon. I know I've done that.
Xbox Live doesn't have it?
Yeah.
Weird.
Revive your co-op partner. Yeah, I know I haven't done that one.
Oh, God. Oh, that's horrible. Damn you, coffee.
What's the most recent one that I did? Del Circuits. Gun Collector. Oh, maybe Gun Collector's the last thing I did, but I don't know. 790, that's about right. There's DLC out for this already?
Yeah, they announced it. It's coming out next month?
That's what's throwing me for a loop. There's DLC achievements in there. Because I'm up at 790, and there's... Alright. Okay.
There's like 1125 now or something?
Well, 1250.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it's the Awakened DLC or something.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I see it, okay.
Bastards.
Yeah, no, I haven't done any of that. But I should get this one right off the bat for just even installing it.
I would hope.
Because I already have that done. Yeah, because the one I'm stuck, the one that is Axis High, fuck that achievement.
What is it?
It's the one where you have to stasis, you know, the guys coming at you with the fire axes?
Yeah.
You have to shoot off his arm, pick up the axe, and then kill him with the axe.
Great. That sounds like no fun.
Oh, no. It would be different, like, alright, kinesis 30 limbs and kill necromorphs with them.
Right.
That would be more, but it's so specific to these axes.
How much is it worth? Like 30?
20.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, I know I'm getting cheesed on Revive Your Co-op Partner, because I know I've done it 3 times and it hasn't happened, but... I love this. Just turned into bitching about games.
Yeah,
and
bitching about achievements.
about things that have no meaning at all.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm closing that. But yeah. But I've logged 43 hours in it,
That's not bad.
according to Raptor. And I'll talk about that in the episode. Something I really enjoy. I just feel like pure anus.
Sounds like it.
Oh, 4D2. Hey, Ian's been doing a good job with the recaps.
Yeah, I don't think I looked at last week's, but the other ones are pretty impressive. Giving some proper props to Ian / Rosenthal.
Tiger 13. Scroll. Oh. Yeah, this is not keeping track of what's this nuts. Any PSN shit. But somehow it keeps track of my Vita stuff.
Weird.
It is weird. I think I got that there. I pulled notes on screen number 2.
Number 2. Man,
Number 1.
I had the joy of transferring saves from my PSP to my PS Vita this morning. That was horrific.
Really?
Yeah, because you would think, like, in a perfect world, they would have upgraded the PSP firmware to allow wireless transfer of PSP data to PS Vita.
What?
No.
Wireless interlinking? I thought of that in 85.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but no, I actually had to install something on my PC and then connect my Vita to it to download existing PSP data, then take my PSP and plug it into my PC, which won't work because it doesn't work with Windows 8. So I had to plug it into my Mac to download stuff there, transfer it to my PC, put it in the folder that has the stuff downloaded from my Vita, then plug my Vita back in and say, hey, now you can slurp up all of this save data.
Wow.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That sounds like that would be more of a problem that would happen to me trying to do that. That
Yeah.
that would be the nonsense I would go through to try and get that to work, and not have that be the protocol.
Well, I gotta give props. Like, this is the first time a post on GameFAQs has actually helped me, because this dude is like, dude, I just did this. Here's all the steps. 8 steps. Do this. The hardest time was trying to find my PSP's power cable. That was the hard. But you know what's great? Here's a bonus of the PSP over the Vita. I hate that if my Vita's battery has died, I can't turn it on as soon as I plugged it in. You know, it does that amber flashing light thing where it's like, wait. You gotta give me a minute. I can't turn right on here. But the PSP, as soon as I plugged it in, turned it right on. Of course, it had lost time, but whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. At least you didn't nuke that module on yours, like I did.
Yeah. God, how did you do that? With some battery business? Some power surge or something?
No, it was. No, it was I had the charging my charging station set up over there, by like the DVDs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing in the bathroom, and I had one of those AC adapters that had like the multiple heads and shit on it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh cool, so I can keep this in here and I can plug it in, but I didn't change the voltage, and I think I overloaded that circuit.
Oh.
So the charge module doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
So for me to charge it, I have to physically take the battery out, charge it in the battery charger, and then swap it out with the one that's the other battery I have there.
Right.
And I was flip-flopping it, and it just got to be a nuisance to the point where I didn't want to use it anymore.
Yeah. But now we have a Vita, and that thing's awesome.
Yeah. And I have my little cradle, my little alarm clock.
I gotta get that cradle. That thing's pretty cool.
It's $12.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to not do it.
And it's not a USB. I thought it was a male-to-male USB cable, but no, it's just your Vita cable that plugs in the back of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
It's sort of a bummer.
But yeah, so I bought a male-to-male USB cable for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thanks, Sony. Alright, you ready to kick this shindig off?
Yeah.
We gotta do titles this week, unfortunately.
Oh.
God, we're bringing a new guy on, and still gotta do titles. I hope he's watching.
Yeah, watch us talking.
Yeah.
Alright, hopefully I got all the fiberglass out of my throat.
If not, our editor will fix it in post.
Oh, dude. You know what? One good thing I found out from doing this is my ceiling's hella insulated.
Nice.
Like, it's thick, but you can see the little mouse holes.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
It's like a rackus in there with, like, sandworms.
Oh, good times.
I'm just gonna throw this in right now, just to...
Yeah, let me know whenever you're ready.
Oh, my head hurts. That was probably the most unsanitary thing I've ever done. I was just crawling around upstairs, and I didn't even wash my... I'm gonna get sick. I can't wait.
Sam!
Oh, that was a cat. Oh, dude, have you seen that montage of screaming animals?
No.
Oh, you gotta find it. Like, animals that sound like humans.
Oh.
This screaming montage. It is fucking hilarious.
I'll watch it after this. Sam, come up here. Come on.
The bullfrogs just absolutely kill me.
Come on. Come on. Just get up
The
here so you can
goats,
shut
too.
up. Come on. There we go.
There was a
Yeah.
zebra that literally sounded like it just went, "Hey! Hey!"
Meow. That's what you sound like. Meow. I'm a cat. Yeah. That's annoying, isn't it? You go on the table, I'm gonna smack your face. That's right.
Isn't it fun trying to rationalize with animals?
That's right. Pete will have me on tape, smacking a cat. What are you gonna do, PETA?
Well, they're trying to ban Duck Duck Goose.
Are they?
You know, their reasoning is because a child in the wild might pat a goose on its head and get bit.
Maybe.
Because that has happened for the length that game's been being fucking played.
Those geese with their rows of horrible teeth. It will take a child's arm right off.
It'll leave you with a nasty welt. I've been bit by a goose. It fucking sucks.
It does suck, but nobody's really going to get that hurt.
No, it's like being pinched.
Yeah. I feel discomfort.
It's
All
like
right.
It's like older brother damage. Like
Yeah.
a titty twister.
Nobody's really going to get hurt. Just scarred for life.
Except your feelings.
Yeah. All right, you ready to kick this off?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boss, and over there's Knobs.
What's up?
The Hannah will not be with us for the next 2 weeks. He and his are moving, so expect in 2 weeks, in the beginning of March is the next month, as I stumble over it. Some palatial new manse behind him. Big announcement, though. TVGP Plays is back, Mamma Jammas. If you haven't been watching the forums, TVGP Plays is back under a new name and a new format, so it's now TVGP Game Club. We are playing a game a month. There are no more stuff in the episode here, so we're not going to do any crazy weekly updates, because that was way too much work, and none of us can keep up with it.
Or whatchamacallits, what was it like our checkpoints and our little segments?
Yeah, no more checkpoints, no more segments. We ain't nobody got time for that. And we're going to be, the very first month, we're going to start here next week, next Monday on the 25th, for our return. TVGP Game Club number 11 is going to be Alan Wake, plus all DLC, plus American Nightmare. So you have a whole month to finish. Not a lot of Alan Wake. That game's not too long. But,
Didn't we do a TVGP Plays of Alan Wake?
We'd been
or did we do a
talking
spoiler
about
cast?
Spoiler cast? We'd been talking about Alan Wake for a while. I think that was going to be the next one if we hadn't stopped the segment. We were always like, yeah, Alan Wake. And I think people were saying, like, yeah, do spoiler cast. And then we just didn't. So head over to the forums. Check out the Game Club forum. If you're going to be live streaming it, like a couple of us are talking about doing, go ahead and put your URL there, and we'll try and gather that stuff. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to do it now. So,
Just kind of keeps us freewheeling it. We're open to suggestions.
We're just going to figure it out. And if you guys have suggestions for games that you'd like, we have a very sizable list. It's like 25 games right now. There's a sticky thread in there for game suggestions. So, and at the end, we'll do some sort of audio thing with some people. Who knows? We'll figure it out. I don't know.
It's a thing.
Whoever plays it, I might just surprise them on Skype and say, hey, you're live, let's talk about games. But so head over to the forums and go check that out and play Alan Wake. It's really good. You have a whole month. So
I don't remember if I bought that game or not.
I think you might.
Did I just borrowed it?
I think you might have just borrowed it from me. I bought a copy on Amazon. It was only $20, brand new. So
No.
not a bad
How about
deal.
that?
And
Nice.
each DLC piece is only like $7, and then the XBLA game, the American Nightmare, was like $15. So for well under, $40, you're getting a pretty good game.
You get the full game
You get everything. Yeah, get the full Alan Wake, full Monty
experience.
If you will. Yeah. So go ahead and check that out. And Knobs, what have you been playing?
Alrighty, well, pretty much the same thing as always. Start off Monday night, Left 4 Dead. It was another good time. I'm just gonna refer to the online gaming thread for Rosenthal's recap of the evening and events and shenanigans.
Yep, he's been doing propers to him. He's been doing a great job.
So not only can you see the score progression or the teams and who's on whose team, and just some of the fun things that happen, like Donnie sacrificing himself at the end of the finale on top of No Mercy, just saying everybody's dead, F it, I'm going off the building. But yeah, it's a good time. It was a lot of chaos as always.
Yeah.
I played a whole bunch more of Dead Space 3.
Oh, okay.
I started working on the classic mode.
What's classic?
Classic mode is essentially it's Dead Space 3, classic aiming, which I really can't tell a difference.
Okay.
And you can't craft weapons, and there's no co-op.
Oh,
So
okay.
your arsenal is your basic Dead Space weapons. The problem with that is that they seem to be nerfed. Like
Oh.
it just the guns just don't have the power that they did, and you can't really upgrade them with power nodes anymore. So you can't get that devastating weapon.
Doesn't really have any
that
oomph.
it just feels like everything just takes way too much, and the difficulty's on hard. So the game
Oh.
is not messing around at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty much the only complaint about that so far. But the more I play this game, the more I kind of love it.
Yeah.
It's just a fun environment to shoot things in.
Yeah.
Like necromorphs are fun to fight. It's co-op is a completely different game.
Yeah.
There's not just is there more dialogue, but it just seems to be like people notice, like Carver notices different stuff. It kind of is looking at Isaac. He's like, well, one part we do have to use this. You have to fill this room up with gas to kill all the organic debris in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Carver looks at him. He's like, "You're not talking about the melt your face off gas, are you?" And I was just like, "Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?" And his immediate response is, "It can melt your face off." And then after the room's filling up, and Carver just kind of just says, "Is this room airtight?" And Isaac's just like, "I don't know." But there's so much more of that stuff in there. It just makes it not making the game light, but it's letting a character that's going through this gauntlet for the first time. And Isaac's just kind of like, whatever, just go
Yeah,
with
he's
it."
like, I've been through way worse, dude. Like,
Hey, at least you're not on your own like I was.
yeah, at least you guys, at least we can talk now.
Well, yeah, I've been pretty much doing that exclusively with Mackie, and the co-op specific missions are really great. We were just getting through. We were playing through level 14 on co-op, and as we were running past the co-op thing for the last time, there's a toy soldier sitting at the door, and he just stopped and picked it up. I'm like, "Holy, did this happen to you?" Maggie's like, "What's happening?" So, but yeah, it's just I love the interaction. I really like Carver. The more I actually get to hear him speak,
Yeah.
even though I did like him more towards the end of the game than the front half, but it's I probably got to play through that whole game of co-op just to see what's different, just to see how different it plays out, because it is really entertaining so far.
I'm kind of happy that co-op isn't the experience that people were worried it was going to be. You know, like, you got some dude following you through the single player, you know, and he's shooting you in the back at every opportunity. You know, it sounds like they actually did it right, where if you're going to play with somebody, you see some different stuff. If you're not, they're not even there.
Well, the thing is, I think the thing they handled right is it doesn't run into the Gears thing where your co-op people that are with you are worthless.
Yeah,
They're
like, you're
just not there.
They're running
There's
in
no-
front of you, and you're shooting them in the back of the head and wasting bullets.
Or you're sitting there getting swarmed, and you're like, "Dude, why don't you take a shot at one of these guys on me?"
They're just running into a staircase. You know, stuck
They're
in
like,
a
just
loop.
by having the option there and then having it non-existent when you're playing single player, I
Yeah.
think is the right move.
It's a great choice. I'm surprised that it's surprising that nobody has ever really done that before. Because, you know, everybody's like, oh god, it's gonna be like normal co-op when nobody's online and there's just a stupid dude behind me. And it's like, oh, they're not there? Great. Okay. This is great choice.
Yo, fantastic. But yeah, I've played a whole bunch more of that. I forgot to write a game down, but I'll talk about that one last. Alrighty. Then hopped on for Monday night. Monday night game night. So we started reminiscing about Tiger Woods. So I figured I'd play some Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, they deleted our country club.
Great.
Yeah. So
Thanks, EA.
yeah. So Scott and Tomsey rebuilt up TVGP Spring, so it's back up there, and I really do plan on at least playing this game once or twice a month now,
See,
just so we can keep it going.
we need to come up with some sort of fiction. Like, did it burn down? Was there
I'm going to say it was a tornado.
was there a
It was some
coup?
sort of natural disaster. It got caught up in the blizzard and was crushed under feet of snow.
That's true. And the
Before
greens
it's-
were ruined. I was imagining some sort of golfer coup where they were unhappy with the charges and then decided to rise up, take over.
The spa portion got a little heavy into bath salts, and everyone turned into zombies.
Oh man, now I need to make that game. Golf zombies.
Oops. Oh. Yeah, so instead of I didn't play any real tournaments, so I figured I was going to be pretty rusty. So I ended up starting playing through the Tiger Legacy stuff.
Yeah, I liked
So
this stuff.
I was playing as Little Tiger. I got my first hole in one, and I hit the ball into a net.
Great.
I'm like, I heard it hit a cup. I'm like, what? What happened? I was like, all right, I don't care. I got a free achievement for it.
Yep.
So,
Can't go wrong.
but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like you're just going through things, trying to hit the ball in the pool and whatnot. And
Yeah, like the little kiddie pool.
I want that to be my backyard now.
Yeah, exactly.
Little kiddie pool and little greens on the deck, and
Yeah.
I just hit balls all day.
And it's kind of cool, like how Little Tiger is sort of dressed up in like a '70s outfit. You know, he's got like that white shirt, and he's got like the shorts with the piping
Shorts with
around it,
Oh, the big
like the
the big
'70s
tube
shorts.
socks.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's kind of cool. It's something they didn't need to do, but it's I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. But it still makes me want to think, like, I really want Tiger to go back to Bananas Tiger. Like, just crazy off-the-wall stuff
Yeah,
that I miss so much.
yeah.
Then on Wednesday, had a call to arms from Scott. And guess what we did?
What?
We played some Mag.
Oh, Mag.
That we played about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 rounds of Mag, and we had a blast.
Yeah. Man, that's a great game.
Surprisingly, people are still playing that game.
I think they're gonna keep playing it until the servers go away. You know?
I don't see a reason not to play that game.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's challenging, and there's still that carrot on the stick progression, and it just and that was the thing that just like playing that just makes me realize how much of a missed opportunity a game that plays like Battlefield is just like wasted on me. Is Mag seems to turn. You don't have to be frontline full combat. It's not all about KD all the time.
It's all about the
It's-
team.
It's about the team and following objectives and moving from point to point to
Yeah.
point.
If you want to
it
be
even-
the dude that's healing, great. That helps
And
the team.
you'll get just as much XP, if not more, just by picking dudes up.
Yep.
Like, and that's an awesome feat. To
Yeah.
make the healer fun in a shooter, which is never the case.
No. I mean, and that's sort of the bummer about most first-person competitive online games is it's all about your KD ratio and then, you know, team deathmatch, let's get back in there, you know, and it's sort of I don't know, it's always sort of disappointing that has to be the only thing that multiplayer first-person shooters can be.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad that this game had slipped through the cracks because it's well made. The gunplay is fantastic, except the shotgun. Like every time I get killed, it's by a shotgun. But when I pull a shotgun, I can't kill anything.
You're just shooting sand.
It's just, yeah, I'm shooting rock.
Shooting
salt.
rock salt.
Like, ow, that stung.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna shake this off, and I'm gonna shoot you with a shotgun and kill
Yeah,
you
you
more
shot a water
from
balloon.
50 yards away.
I'm really curious. I'd have to see if there's a good article about why Mag failed. I mean, because it didn't fail outright. You know, the servers are still running. They're still selling copies of the game. But, you know, why didn't it ever take off the way that Battlefield takes off, the way that COD takes off? You know, what happened? You know, was it a release timing? Did it? I don't even remember what happened when it came out.
I don't think it's so much. I think people were concerned about. I think just the sheer size of that many players at once and whatnots.
So it was a
But
marketing problem, maybe?
I think it was poorly marketed. Like, yes, it's a massive online game where you have 256 people against 256 people.
Yeah. Which just
Like,
sounds like, well, I'm not going to play that, because that sounds horrible.
Right, but I don't think they hammered home the points of it's actually quadranted off to the point where
Yeah.
it's very manageable, where you only have to worry about 8 to 16 guys in your group,
Yeah.
and you're fighting 8 to 16 guys in your group
Yeah.
as you're converging on one central location where everybody, and it's just mayhem.
Yeah.
Like airstrikes coming in, and it just. I think it missed the point, or it lost its popularity because after that game come out, it wasn't the newest and greatest thing anymore. Because
Yeah.
since then, there have been 2 Battlefield games, 5 Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
I think it's lost in that shuffle. But the people that are still playing it are like the extremes. Like there's still a bunch of noobs, which is I found surprising.
That's great, though.
That there are still people like really low level just
Level
working
3.
their way up.
Yeah.
And then you have your platoons of elite people that
Yeah.
we ran across this group of snipers that were just unreal. Like
Hmm.
we would be running in a group like 6 people, all 6 of us would drop at once.
Just blat, blat, blat.
It was just it was insane. I've never seen sniping that
Yeah.
like that coordinated.
You know, Sony's had a lot of problems this gen. I mean, we catch a lot of flack for sort of dogpiling on Sony, but one of their biggest problems this gen has been marketing. Like, for example, look at the last 2 weeks. A new Sly Cooper game came out. Nobody knew.
Yep.
And it, by all accounts, looks great. But there's nothing. You know, most game outlets were getting a review copy of it. And it's like, oh, when did this... Oh, this is out already?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You know, that sort of thing. It's just... I don't know, it's a bummer. They have so many really great games. And it's weird to see that, like, when a Sly Cooper game comes out and a JRPG comes out, the JRPG is the one that's marketed the most. You know, like Ni no Kuni was on the lips of everybody's... Of most gamers that had a PS3, and then something like Sly Cooper comes out, a sequel to a greatly revered franchise. People are like, oh no, that's not coming out for... Oh, that's out. Oh, that's out now. Okay.
But I think a lot of it is it's not so much the branding of Sony that the problem. It's the marketing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really have that identity of all right. These are the type of games you want on your PS3.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Like
Yeah.
if I'm playing like a third-person action game, usually I'm looking at it on the 360 because it's just I don't know.
Well, and the 360 is really where you and I have made our home this gen. You know, we have PS3s, we play, but it's like a lot of people that have made the PS3 their home. You only play the 360 or the PS3 when it has exclusives, when it's not your primary. You know, that's not where your
Right.
friends are.
But I mean that's the thing. I mean it shouldn't be because most of our friends have both. But
Yeah.
I think if the communications between people was as easy as it is on the 360, and granted it's not perfect. It has
No,
its
no.
problems where it drops. Like the Monday Night Curse is still alive and well. So
I don't know, but
But-
what still boggles my mind too is I was thinking about this yesterday when I was playing some stuff. It's still in 2013 boggles my mind that you can't buy a copy of COD Blops 2, for example, and play against people on the PS3, the 360, the PC, and the Wii U. Like everybody, like if you buy the Wii U copy of that game, there's like 10 people playing that game. Why
Yeah.
can't it be the millions that are playing it on another platform? Like, I just, it boggles my mind still to this day that it's like, oh yeah, I can't play with my friends because I bought it on another console.
well, I think the only segregation on that front would be the PC integration to that
Yeah.
group because I don't think the console gamers really have much of a shot.
Probably not.
But
that would be
but then that
understandable.
would be a learning curve thing
Yeah.
as well, and at some point it might even the balance. But there's a wealth of people playing the same game and they can't play with each other.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's just with as many advancements as there's been over the last 10 years, it just still confuses me that it's like, oh, what copy of this game did you get? Oh, I got it on the PS3. Oh, I bought it on the 360. Sorry.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
no,
like, then that's it.
I had that conversation with Sean last night while we were talking about Injustice, and he's like, "Well, I have to pick it up on the 360 because it's the only way I'm going to be able to play you."
Yeah.
Even though I prefer the PlayStation 3, I was like, "Of course you do."
Well, and it's funny though because it's just like, God, still, yeah, like how weird.
Yeah,
I just want to play with my friends.
yeah, that's what it boils down to.
I'm hoping that you know all signs point to the PS4 being announced next Wednesday at Sony's big thing. I
Yeah.
really hope that those walls can get broken down. It's in the interest of everybody. Does it mean at some point somebody's like, well, I don't have a PS3 and my friends are playing it all there. I'm just not going to buy this game.
Well, and that would be a driving point for Sony if they say it's like, hey, if you want to play against people on the 360, guess what? You got better hardware than they do now.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
or on some aspect on that level, like, look, not only is this game, but it's better on ours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But you can still play with everybody.
Yeah, you can market your games differently. You can say like, yeah, you can play with those 360 people, but you know where the goods are.
Yeah, that's right.
Or the next Xbox, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Durango.
yeah, Xbox.
Anywho.
Anyway, but yeah, Mag was a good time.
Yep.
And Scott wants to try and make this a Wednesday night thing. I can't make any promises that I'll be there, but hopefully it gets some tread because
Forms assemble.
that game's still fun to play, and
Yep.
we got plenty of room in our clan for you.
And
so.
it's so cheap. You can find it in any bargain bin. Most people didn't
Yep.
like that game.
Yep, which
it up for
is
$3.
which is a shame.
Yeah.
And lastly, I've been playing a metric F ton of DOA 5.
Oh yeah.
This game has got its hooks in me bad now.
Did the patch come out?
No.
Oh. I think it
I'm
came
still-
out on PS3, the very controversial patch on PS3. Have you seen the lashback on it? So for the PS3 version, you know the end of matches, it always sort of zooms in on the winner, and there's always have like that stone-faced look where it's like, I won.
Yeah.
You know, now apparently with the 6-axis, there is how can I put this? Boob control.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so you can sort of shake the controller, and it does the appropriate boob-related things.
Did they hire Itagaki for this patch?
Yeah, like, well, what's funny is, like, I think a lot of people are really just disappointed in it. Where it's like, come on, guys. Like, I thought we got away from setting your age to 99 and things just happen really weird. Like DOA 1 and 2. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's just sort of disappointing where, like, we could finally hold up this game and say, like, man, this is a much more tasteful game than previous copies.
But it doesn't, unless it's like a tongue-in-cheek adolescent thing for them. I don't understand it. You make this solid game, and the one criticism about it is the thing you keep emphasizing.
Yeah, and like their defense was like, well, people just kept telling us like, hey man, why aren't the boobs bounce as much? And it's like, maybe you should ignore those people because it's
Yeah,
2013.
Yeah, because obviously those people aren't the market you want to capture. They're the
Yeah.
minority.
Yeah, that's what video games needs to get rid of. Not, oh, let me patch boob control in. And in 2013 you can't laugh it off and be like, oh, it's Japanese games, because that doesn't really fly anymore.
No.
Like Katamari flies because that's all the way weird, but not DOA 5. Come on, guys.
It's a shame because it's just been like I've been playing a ton with Sub and Hender over in Germany, and man, I cannot wait for this patch so we can save some of our fights.
Oh yeah.
Like he's even thinking about just like we'll have our weekly best match that we have, and then we'll post it up on YouTube's or something.
Yeah, can you export it to YouTube from in?
I don't know.
I thought
I
I
don't
read.
know. I'm leaving that to him to figure out. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm not.
You do the tech.
I can't even put wire through my walls at this point. I'm breaking everything. So yeah, it's been crazy fun. I mean, we've had just some unbelievable battles, and it just like losing from the jaws of victory, like
Yeah.
just battling back with no health left. It's just been absolutely insane. It's just so much fun to play, and the game is just gorgeous.
God, it is. It's just
so
so good
pretty.
looking, man.
It's so pretty. And then I've been pretty much been buying one costume pack a week, so I think I got 3 now.
Nice. You're like me with my recent comicsology addiction, where it's like, you know what? I never did read Civil War. How about I buy all of it? Boom.
Wow, that's.
Yep.
It's gotten me a few times.
I never read
that.
Avengers versus X-Men. Give me all that stuff. Whatever.
Did you pick it up? Did you eventually pick that up?
I'm almost there. Yeah.
Oof.
I should read Civil War first, just like to get one series done, and then of course Uncanny X-Men Volume 3 just started, so I gotta start picking that up.
Yeah, I just saw that up on their banner page. The one I think you should like. This is what I liked about the old like story arcs. They were like very contained and just really like maybe 12, 13 issues tops.
Yeah. Well, that's
but
my
now,
problem with
now they're sprawling in different like all over the universe now. It's just crazy.
That was my problem when I was looking at AVX. Is they had like a compilation thing where it's like $60, and it's like, well, it's AVX 1 through 13 and X-Men 1 and 6 and 11 and Avengers 1, 5 and 13, and I'm just like, I have to buy that because like how can I keep track of that? like I can't go to like Comic Vine or go to a wiki page and say these are all of the comics you need to buy for this storyline.
Well, that's where like buying comic like they found out that the trade market works.
Yep.
But then they broke down those individual trades for each little section.
Yeah.
Like there's a little trade for Civil War, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, and they're all like really thin. It's like, dude, why could you just put 2 or 3 of these together?
Yeah.
Call it Volume 1, and then. One
just put
A
4
or
of those
1B, like instead of just put 4, like Age of Apocalypse was the last one they did that with.
Yeah.
Where it had like a computum of all those things, but it was 4 volumes.
Yeah. Or just put them all out as one big omnibus and say this is all, Civil War, everything.
In chronological order, so I don't have to think like, oh, I already know this happened.
But you know what's great? We're just gonna keep talking about comics here. I don't care who's listening. What's really great about Comixology is that DC and Marvel have put every single issue of everything ever up there. So if you want to read X-Men issue 1...
not quite.
Well, I know DC has for the majority of their stuff.
The deeper stuff that I read as a kid isn't there.
Like anything beyond like X-Men?
Yeah. Like a lot of the... like spin-off, but smaller characters. Like I would love to go back and read Darkhawk.
Yeah.
Because I really liked that character when I was a kid and like to see what happened.
I wonder if they're just making it to that point. They're like, well, we'll just put X-Men first, then we'll keep like going down the well.
I hope so because like a lot of the Valiant stuff is making its like Exo-Man of Wars back up, which is
I saw
awesome.
Some of that. Yeah.
But yeah, there's still the Image stuff is killing me because that's the stuff I loved when I was a kid. Like Spawn still isn't there. Wetworks, most of Savage Dragon, Supreme has like 3 issues that are disjointed from each other.
Oh, weird.
I'd love to read Union and Stormwatch, like the originals.
Yeah.
And just see where that stuff goes. And Wetworks, I want to see what happens in Wetworks. And Deathblow. Deathblow is one of the prettiest looking comics I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I just want to read that in that awesome digital frame.
Well, I sort of went down that rabbit hole because I saw they had the Infinity Gauntlet on there. I was like, ooh, I could read that again. Yeah, that was good. And what I love so much about Comixology is that app is amazing. After you double tap that screen and it just goes pane by pane, that's all I need. Because then I'm not like looking at the other page and I'm like, oh man, there's something exploding on that next page. I'm just not going to read this one.
Right.
It's so good.
Well, that and the other thing that's really nice about that, if you picked up Infinity Gauntlet, dude, it has the full collection of the Infinity War, the Infinity Watch.
Oh wow.
All this like the stuff leading up to Thanos getting the gems.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, and that's like a 2-page issue.
Yeah.
Like it's not 2-page, but two book issue, 2-book little story arc leading up into the Infinity Gauntlet, the things that happened before that point.
Yeah.
And then the aftermath of the Infinity Watch and the Infinity War is just awesome. But even back to the X-Men stuff, there's still no Starjammers, like the 4-issue spread they had for Starjammers.
I have to assume that stuff's got to be coming, because even if even if only a couple hundred people buy it, that's money in Marvel's pocket.
I already own the hard copies, and I will totally buy that stuff
Yeah.
again.
I mean, like,
Because it's way better to read stuff on this.
well, and I mean, for a lot of people like me, you know, I wouldn't even know where that stuff starts, or like it would be hard. Like if I can't go to Amazon and buy Starjammers, I'm probably not going to buy it because
Yeah.
it's too hard for me to get it otherwise. You know.
But yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, remember I had that problem with that digital comic from Amazon on the Kindle website?
Yeah.
I just had to update Kindle.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense enough that I should have figured that out.
Yeah.
And not have someone tell me that.
All right. Well, let's get back to video games now that we're done with the comic
Comic-cast.
hour. What? Anything else you played?
No, pretty much DOA. I really would love more people to play this game.
Yeah.
I promise I won't beat you up too bad.
God, I wish
Even
we had
though
more time.
I'm just the seven-hander just kind of noticed that I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of outclassing them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm kind of getting back to where I was as far as counters and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's getting rough.
Oh man. So I only played 2 games this past week. One of them is Fire Emblem Awakening. I've been trying to put some time into that game as I can. You know, laying in bed at night, playing for an hour or so before I go to bed. I like to read more than I like to play games in bed. It puts me to sleep a little bit more, either whether it's comics or some dumb fantasy book. So I've been playing that. It's still really great. There was a super hard battle that I just fought. I think there was only about 10 people on my squad, and I think there was like 25 people on the other squad. That was really rough. It was just a never-ending wave of dudes. But it's still really great. I do not regret not playing classic mode, casual mode, or whatever they're calling it for your dudes don't die forever mode. That's really the way to play, because I would not want to play these battles over again because I made a really dumb mistake at the end, or one of my healers was all the way across the battlefield and didn't make it in time. You know, stuff like that. I don't have time for that anymore. But the other game I played, and I played pretty much all day yesterday, is Ni no Kuni. I'm at what I think is the end. It's pretty much like, let's go to the bad guy's castle. Gee
So
willikers.
that's pretty clear.
I think that's pretty clear. I haven't really looked forward in the strategy guide or anything. But man, that game is just... I've been doing everything. I think I'm about 40 hours in now. I've been doing all the side quests, all like the monster hunts and everything, finding all the little treasure around. There's this whole thing I didn't know about until I got the airship style thing that I won't spoil for anybody who's playing it. There's 100 hidden treasures just on the world map that are like off in the corners of the world. They finally gave me a spell that will show that stuff on the mini-map. So, back out into the world, hunting that stuff down. And it's just... It's not going to be the JRPG that convinces people that JRPGs are great. But it's, a JRPG's fans' JRPG. It's just really solid. It doesn't reinvent the genre. It doesn't try to reinvent the genre, which is almost sometimes worse at some points. But it's just a really good, solid game that, is aimed at kids, but it's nice to kind of see that storytelling, because there's been a couple points in the game where it's been like, there was this one point where your characters are going through a cave and they see a flashback of 2 people talking. It would have happened like 15 years ago or something like that. And the main character goes like, "Well, why did that happen? I wonder why that is." And one of the other party members is like, "Who cares? We just saw into the past. More importantly, ... I'm like, "Yeah, great. I don't need to know like, well, midichlorians told us that the history of... Who cares? We saw into the past. I don't care why."
Yeah, that's cool enough in itself.
Yeah, video games, whatever. You know, like, and I really like that storytelling where it's like, it's, you know, they even question it a little bit, and the characters are like, I don't care. Let's just go do something. Who cares? This cutscene's already been too long. And it's just, it's dumb. It's great. It's fun. And that's kind of what I needed, especially when I started playing Dead Space 3, where I'm sort of like,
Yeah, this is all way too serious.
serious games. I should probably finish Ni no Kuni first, and then get back to serious time. It's just, I'm just having a blast, and my girlfriend is really enjoying watching me play it, and the voice acting's great. It's just, and every time like one of those Studio Ghibli anime cutscenes comes up, it's beautiful. It's just, it's great. I love it.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, as a JRPG fan, I love it. If people don't love JRPGs, you're not gonna love it. It's not Final Fantasy VII. It's not the Great White Hope. You know, that won't happen again. So I don't know why it happened the first time. Marketing, probably.
That was the right game, right time.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those like people have been talking about in the forums. One of the lightning in a bottle games. You know, it's just the right game at the right time managed to happen. Yeah, it could be anything. But that's all I've been playing because work has been crazy. So let's take a break.
Right.
Comic books. I'm really liking the all-new X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people have been sort of crap-talking it online because they're like, oh, you know, going back to the original X-Men, like, we've been through this before. And I'm like, great, you guys have, but I haven't. This is awesome.
That's the thing with, I mean, the more, like, I start digging into this and just reading it, like, in like, comic books and just in general, like, I really forgot how much I love reading comic books.
Yeah. Well, and
Like,
it sort of sparked an interest in me because, like, at the beginning of All New X-Men, they're like, oh, yeah, remember when Cyclops killed Xavier? And I'm just like, yeah, wait, what? And I was like, all right, now I got to go back, like, a couple of things here and figure out where that happened because I want to read that because I hate Cyclops so much.
Yeah, and the Injustice has just been
Oh, God,
amazing.
Injustice was so, like, it had me in, like, the first couple pages where Batman was like, yeah, man, the world is really messed up because Superman lost it. And it's like, it has like all that pro-Superman propaganda, and the world is all messed up, and there's those giant banners with the Superman
man.
logo. And I'm just like, this is awesome. What happened?
New Atomic Robo is out, too.
Oh, really? Is that good?
Oh, it's fantastic. There's it's so good. It's I think there's like 6-7 trades now of
Wow.
Atomic Robo. It's kind of like kind of Hellboy is like this big like just chunks of like here's a story, here's a story, here's a
Yeah.
story, all in the same universe, but they're not all collected in like this weird chain.
I love the Comixology continued advertisement for you should really read The Walking Dead. And I was like, yeah, what issue are they up to? Oh, 206. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's why like when the omnibuses went on sale for like $10 a piece, I bought the first two,
Yeah.
which I think is like 50 issues.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. That's just,
It's been all over the place. Like
Yeah.
God, there's so much stuff on this site.
I should
And just
see
keep
if they have blankets on there. I don't think they do. I'd love to read blankets again.
that might be on the Valentine's Day thing. Hold on, let me check that. No, let me see.
Gibbinator has a really good comic-related question here in the chat. He says, why do the mutants get singled out as the targets of hate and fear? Spidey and the Fantastic Four are mutants too, when you think about it, and everyone in the Marvel Universe loves them. I think it's just a story. It's just storytelling of humans' fear against the unknown.
Well, against something new,
Something different.
They see mutants as a threat, whereas Spider-Man: The Fantastic Four was an accident. Like,
Yeah, and
and
just
like
one
people seem
person.
to understand that. Like he got hit by cosmic rays out in space, so okay, all right, they can wrap their mind around that. But instead
Yeah.
of somebody being born with the ability to move magnetic items on their own, just born with
Right.
the ability.
Yeah, and I think it's always the interplay between the X-Men and the Brotherhood that's always fueled a lot of that. Where it's like, well, the X-Men can't be good because the Brotherhood are bad. There's
Guilty
sort
by
of
association.
yeah, it's sort of the one apple spoils a whole bunch, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think they need that. I think they need that interplay there to continue the story. I mean, there has to be a good versus evil.
I think they did that to have you have like the bad mutants and the good mutants, where everyone, well, they just associate that all mutants are bad.
Yeah.
When some of them are, and that just gives them a wealth of things they can think up to make bad mutants.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess whatever. It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
comic books.
Yeah, like at some point, it's kind of cool. Yeah.
But in that universe, it is just it's almost a racism like kind of angle the whole way through.
Yeah, it's like a racism allegory. Fear of different, fear of the unknown,
you.
etc. I'm ready to do the next segment whenever you are.
I am ready as well.
Okay.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases, downloadable games this week. Yu-Gi-Oh's 5Ds, Decade Duels Plus.
I don't even know, man. I don't.
That
got
card
nothing.
battler's out for XBLA and PSN. 800 points and $10 respectively. Persona 4 Arena for PS3 is $30.
That's a
Sorry.
really great deal.
It's a really good price.
That's a lot of game too, because the sort of visual novel story mode, there's a ton. I mean, 50, 60 hours, easy.
Alien Breed for the PlayStation Network is a cross-buy. Works with your Vita as well. That is
Oops, sorry.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
That is for $10.
For all of you classic Alien Breed fans, Team 17 is developing this one too, although I don't know what that means anymore. Sorry, Team 17.
Yep. It is. And now a myriad of Twisted Metal things. A PS1 Classic, Twisted Metal for $6. PS2 Classic, the one you should own, Twisted Metal Black for $8.
That's a great game.
And the Twisted Metal Happy Birthday Bundle for $40. You get Twisted Metal for PlayStation X, Twisted Metal 2 for PlayStation X,
One of the best ones.
Twisted Metal Black for the PlayStation 2, and Twisted Metal for PlayStation 3 for $40.
That's a really great value because you
That is a murderer's row of Twisted Metal.
because one is has not aged super well. Two, I feel, is still a fun and very playable game. Black is fantastic. Regrettably, not the online one though, so you
Yeah.
can't play multiplayer. And I heard Twisted Metal for the PS3 is pretty good, but nobody played it online.
Yeah.
So it
And it was-
sort of flopped.
It was pretty true to its roots from what I hear, and Sean yelled at me yesterday about not buying it. But whatever, because
Nobody played it. Sorry, everyone.
And here's a nice little nugget in their pantheon of gaming here. System Shock 2 for Good Old Games is $10, and I might leave right now and buy that.
I already bought it, and it's in our list for a future Game Club game. But man, just reading, if anybody is interested in why this took so long, read who owns the rights to this game, and more importantly, the number of people that own the rights to this game. It is a miracle that this game happened. You should probably buy it now.
Yeah,
It's
while
only
you have the
$10.
chance. That reminds me, we should go play back and play Shogo.
Yeah, I wonder if that's on. I'll have to see if. Let me look if it's on Good Old Games while we're talking about the rest of these releases.
Because that game was amazing.
Ooh, it is for $6. Shogo Mobile Armor Division.
Oh, that is such a good game.
The subtitle on GOG is "Forget what you think you know about giant robots."
Fair enough.
That's fair.
It's definitely fair.
Yeah.
U.S. release for the week of February 18th, 2013. Here's my first coin flip of the year. Crisis 3 for the 360 PS3 and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, for the
Revengeance.
for the PS3 and 360. So I'm literally going to flip a coin at the store, and this will be what I buy.
I'm going with Rising for the 360. Apparently it's 60 frames on both platforms. That's impressive. Go platinum. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be great. I think I'll pick up Crisis 3 eventually, because, man, Crisis 2 was good.
Yeah, and that's the reason why. Because since I kind of actually held off last week, which rightfully so for once.
Yeah. Did not purchase Aliens Colonial Marines. Thankfully.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say bad things, but yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
Very happy about it.
Yep.
But yeah, I really loved the demo of Metal Gear Rising. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really looking forward to Crisis 3, especially Crisis 3. If it picks up where that left off, I can't wait.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
And UK releases is nothing.
Couldn't find anything, peeps. Sorry. All right, let's move on to the metric boatload of news stories we have this week. First off, the Wall Street Journal reports that the PlayStation 4 will stream PS3 games. So the big concern here is that the PS4 moves away from the different type of chipset to an AMD x86 based chipset. You know, the standard thing everybody has in their PCs, tablets, laptops, etc. Which would mean that backwards compatibility is virtually impossible, because the amount of programming to do that low-level translation between the two is honestly probably not worth it. So last June, a lot of people I think forget that Sony purchased Gaikai, a online streaming, a video game streaming service. It was competing with OnLive until Sony bought them, and then they won. So Wall Street Journal is saying, yo, you want to play PS3 games on your PS4? Great. We can stream that stuff in 720p over the Gaikai service, and just stream your PS3 games if you haven't gotten a chance to play them, which
is a great idea.
Sounds like a great alternative. Like, you can't do it with your hardware, which is totally understandable. Just stream it. Great.
I like that they're actually hopefully they're out in front of that already, so people just don't have that PS2, PS3 backlash like they did before.
Because that's going to be everybody's first question is, hey, I haven't finished all these PS3 games yet. How do I? What do I do?
But yeah, but that was the bet they made for themselves, having some units have that module
absolutely,
and then others not.
If they can come out front at the beginning saying, does not have hardware backwards compatibility, but via the Sony Entertainment Network online streaming service, you feel free to rent a PS3 game, purchase a PS3 game, and stream it. Nothing for you to download. Just stream it from one of our Sony Entertainment Network online gaming streaming servers. .com. So
did you see that? Did you see that GIF of Kaz Hirai on that flaming rocking horse?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, the internet.
I laughed about that for a while.
So hopefully on the 20th, I'm very curious to see. I think the general agreement right now is Sony's going to announce the PS4 in some form or fashion. I'm really curious to see how much they announce now versus how much they announce at E3. Because in E3 they'll probably say, you already know about the PS4, let's talk games. This time it's probably hardware, no OS, basic services and functionality. Somebody may bring out an empty PS4 shell to be, oh, look at the PS4, great, look at all these ducts, woo!
Look how light it is.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about broad technology, like here's the Blu-ray drive, here's maybe the controller. There's the leaked photos this week of the PS4 prototype controller that has that tiny little screen inside it. So I'm assuming they'll show some of that stuff. Where partnered with PS4 is this brand new DualShock 4. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last DualShock, and that was the 3 for the PS3.
3, yeah.
Because the 6-axis wasn't a DualShock. because I don't. People will probably forget that the PS3 did not launch with a controller that could rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird.
Things
All
still
right.
felt too light.
Yeah, the DualShock 3 isn't bad. It's got enough heft to it, but you know. So I am waiting with bated breath for what's going to happen on the 20th, and I'm happy I work at a gaming company, so we can all just watch it at work. So I know next week we will be talking mucho about PS4. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be called. So, all right, moving on to the next news story here. EA and Zynga settle the Vil lawsuit out of court. We reported this, I think it was a couple months ago, where EA had released The Sims Social on Facebook. And not too long after that, Zynga released The Vil, which, to be fair, most Zynga games look very similar to the games that they are inspired by. This was a little too similar. This was venturing into copy and paste territory, which is how EA felt. I cannot say my opinions do not reflect my employer. Zynga, so they settled out of court for, of course, an amount of money that nobody will ever know, but Zynga released a statement that apparently EA also released that just says, EA and Zynga have resolved their respective claims and have reached a settlement of their litigation in the Northern District of California, end quote. So,
Great.
open and close case, guys. So, that one's over. Next news story, February 14th, Nintendo Direct. Nintendo's been doing this really great thing lately where every month they just do a live stream where they're talking about the things they're working on. And more companies should do that because we get a lot more information that way that isn't once a year at E3 or twice a year at TGS too. So they announced a whole bunch of stuff, and they were talking about a whole bunch of things that are coming down the pipe. First one is the thing that I am the most excited for, Mario Golf World Tour coming to the 3DS this summer. I'm really itching to play another Mario Golf game, and I do not want to play it on a console. Because I really like playing... there's the Hot Shots World Tour or whatever it is on the Vita. That's a great game. I like playing that in little fits and spurts. You know, but I don't... Sitting down and playing a golf game, it's kind of boring. Unless I want to watch like a TV show or Netflix or something. Mario and Luigi... Let me try that again. Mario and Luigi Dream Team coming to 3DS this summer is the next Mario and Luigi RPG game. That looks really crazy because Mario is sort of exploring the world on the top screen, and on the bottom screen, Luigi's sleeping. And depending on how you mess with him on the bottom screen affects the world on the top screen.
Oh,
so it
neat.
looks like Mario is sort of exploring Luigi's dreams, and you know, like if you tickle Luigi's nose, he sneezes while he's asleep, and then there's like a gust of wind that happens on the top screen in his dream. So
Even in Luigi's dream, he can't get away from Mario.
I know. Well,
That poor guy.
that's why they announced the next game. New Super Luigi U for the Wii U. This is a downloadable content pack for New Super Mario Bros. U. It is an 80-plus level DLC pack that's coming out that looks like it pretty much changes the entire game, and it's just Luigi. So that could be kind of interesting. I would really like to see that game continue to... Ask We Done... A skewed one, sorry, in the chat writes Mario Fantastic Voyage. That's that's the Japanese title probably. It's kind of I would kind of like to see Nintendo do what they did with the 3DS New Super Mario Bros. U and make some of those levels really really tough in the Mario new Luigi U whatever. Because some of the stuff they did there was pretty cool. Animal Crossing New Leaf gets a June 9th release date, finally, here for North America, so...
I didn't know they're still making those.
Get your bells ready, son. Tom Nook is coming for you. And lastly, Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move was announced for the 3DS eShop. Another one of these games. I hope it sort of goes back to the original one that was so great. I feel like they've sort of lost some of the puzzle focus and moved to more of an action-y type of game, which is kind of a bummer lately.
It seems more like they're getting back to what WarioWare was.
Yeah. I think there was a WarioWare for 3DS, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I can't keep track anymore. But man, I got to give Nintendo credit. They're doing a really great job with these Nintendo Direct things, showing trailers, showing screenshots. Just Iwata putting on dumb hats. He's wearing a Luigi hat the entire time. That's great. Why not? Can't go wrong.
I like Luigi.
Yeah, I like Iwata too because he's goofy. Next news story here: World of Tanks dev Wargaming.net buys gas-powered games. So a lot of stuff has happened with gas-powered games lately, with laying everyone off and starting their Kickstarter, and then recently they canceled their Kickstarter because even though it was going really well, Chris Taylor decided to focus on saving the company as opposed to this really last-ditch effort to get this Wild Man game off the ground, which wasn't looking great. So Wargaming.net purchased gas-powered games for an undisclosed sum. Which really just shows you how huge World of Tanks is now. Which is most people don't talk about it a lot, but if they have enough money to buy out gas-powered games,
they're doing good.
You're doing pretty okay. So hopefully good news for gas-powered games because they make pretty good games. So we'll see. Next news story is Steam for Linux. Finally fully released alongside Valve's announcements that they're going to do week-long sales now as opposed to just daily or weekend sales. So keep opening the checkbook. There's more Steam games. If you don't own them all, you will pretty soon. Next news story: Randy Pitchford addresses Borderlands 2 level cap issues. The internet rages. Pitchford said there is a 100% chance of a level cap increase this year. Sounds great, but also says there's a 50-50 unforeseen consequence that some people will rage about. Might want to talk about it now, Randy. Pitchford has concerns about balancing in game flow, mostly for when people start to combine skill trees that were meant to be separate. He notes that Gearbox may have painted ourselves into a corner here in regards to hinting at a level cap increase through an achievement, and the eventual realization that going through with it is going to be a lot harder than they thought. So, Randy's been doing a lot of interviews lately that have... His concern, which I find unfounded, is he's concerned about how they have designed the game originally with each of the three trees for all the character classes needing to be separate because they do wildly different things. And he's saying, like in Borderlands 1, when you increase the level cap, you of course give more skill points. And at that point, people can get to the bottom of two trees or mix and match in all three trees, which I would like to say, I don't care. I want to break the game.
That's where I think they're starting to lose their disconnect with their fan base a little bit, is in that first balancing patch when they patched things that clearly broke the game.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of the fun of the Borderlands universe, is getting things that break the game.
Yeah.
To make things like the Infinity Pistol Evil Smasher exploit.
Yeah.
To the point where you can shoot faster and you can see bullets. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like, compare this to the Dead Space 3 farming glitch that was unveiled. You know, for anybody that didn't know about this, Dead Space 3, you can pay microtransactions at the bench to get stuff faster in the game. You know, it's the money versus time sort of thing. Yeah. And somebody apparently found a glitch or a farming spot where you can just farm this stuff to your heart's content and you'll never want for it again. And everybody was figuring, oh man, EA and Vicarious? No.
Visceral.
They were going to patch it out right away because then they don't make money. And Visceral's like, no, we sort of were hoping you guys would find that we put that in there. We're not patching that out. If you want to do that, that's fine. Which is
There's
great.
parts. I mean, there are parts in that game where if you go back to the same area a couple of times, where not nose, but like things you have picked up, like weapon pieces and stuff. If you've gone through that area 3 or 4 times, there'll be 4 or 5 items sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah, and
So
I
don't.
think that's some of what they're talking about.
And once you got, like, I finished the game, I had 3 scavenge bots. I'm pulling in so much stuff, and then I had the ration tickets, which I didn't even know they had a purpose. You can cash in the ration tickets for more
Materials or whatever.
4 more resources,
Yeah.
and your upper echelon MK versions of the weapons parts.
Yeah.
So it's you just play the game. Believe me, you got more than enough resources to build everything you want.
What bothers me so much about Pitchford's response and Gearbox's attitude towards Borderlands 2 is it's not an MMO. Nobody cares if it's unbalanced. We want to break the game. It's arguable at the end of Borderlands 1 or 2 that you're kind of looking forward to breaking the game when the level cap increases, because I want to see what happens when I throw out 2 turrets that each have rocket pods and 2 barrels on each other that's shooting out
and slag
slag.
bullets.
Like, that sounds great to me. That, to me, doesn't break the game because I want to do that. And if it allows me to kill Terramorphous in 10 minutes instead of 15, I don't care. Nobody cares. Like, there's an attraction for all of us to break games that we're playing because it's fun. Just let us do it.
But to get to that point where that game's broken, that player would have to put in so many hours. See,
Yeah.
my problem with the level cap raising right now is all the items and stuff that I have hoarded and worked and ground to find are going to be worthless.
Yeah. Well, if they put new weapons in, then they will.
Well, no, because those weapons won't meet the level cap of the new enemies that are going to be higher leveled.
Right.
So they're like right there. It just breaks all their stuff, all their elite items.
Well, that's what he said. They're sort of balancing. Do they continue to hit? Do they give the player a higher level cap, but keep the enemies at the same level and not create more weapons, or do they give the player a level increase, the enemies a level increase, and create more weapons? Creating more work. Can you just, like, for example, can you hit 65, but all the enemies max out at 50, and all your weapons are still defined? You're just way stronger in the end and have more skills. Seems like that's what they're trying to balance right now.
Or you just hit them up for a third playthrough and make things just bananas and make people work for more stuff.
Yeah.
Just make all your adjustments where you would need 2 turrets shooting nuclear explosions when you drop them and the double bolts and rocket pods.
What sort of disappoints me, I'm not really torn up about it, is more surprise than disappointment, is that Gearbox didn't plan for this. They learned so much from the first one, and like they patched in so many things so they wouldn't have to paint themselves in a corner, and then they're trying to figure out how to do level cap. Like, you topped out at level 69 or 70 in the first one. What happened last time? Like, did it break the game? And who cares? No, I don't think I heard anybody in the last game going, I can't believe I can finish almost 3 trees. It's breaks the game. We're just like, let's keep going. I can almost get this third tree. Yeah, like, it's disappointing. I don't know what is happening. Gibbionator in chat says, I figured he was busy doing damage control for Aliens. He's not. Sega is. Because the big controversy right now is, who worked on Aliens? Which of these 6 studios that allegedly worked on Aliens, and what happens? What happened? So I'm not going to dogpile on the game because the internet has done that, and I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it. I'm not interested in doing so. But I don't think Gearbox cares.
Yeah, I don't
Not
think
their
that's
problem.
their worst thing, but
I
they
think
need to get out in front of this Borderlands thing because there should still be life in that game.
Well, and they're talking about doing, a second season of DLC. Like, this first season hasn't even finished yet. This is only the 3rd DLC pack. So, like my girlfriend and I think we sort of collectively said we're not going to play until the level cap increases because we're going through this DLC in True Vault Hunter mode, and I just don't. I'm not like I'm not a serious hardcore loot hunter, so I'm not really interested in the new loot. But we're sort of spinning wheels on this thing because we can't level up anymore, and it's not. We don't have another goal to go through, so.
Well, you don't have that
no
carrot on
point.
the stick right now.
Yeah, there's nothing for us to fight for, you know. So, what's the point?
I'll outrig you guys with some sweet fat loots.
Yeah,
Some
maybe after
hard
level cap
some
increases.
hard oranges.
Yeah, amazing. All right, next news story here: new Batman game probably coming this year. On a recent Time Warner financial earnings call, they said, and we also have a strong games release this year, which will include the next release in the Batman Arkham franchise. What's interesting, though, is that nobody has said whether or not Rocksteady's working on it, and the rumor is Rocksteady's off working on something else right now, a new IP. So I'm kind of surprised that they're talking about this, because I feel like the more time that we distance from Arkham City, the less kind time is to that game.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like picking up now, and they're like, this game is not super. Like Arkham Asylum was a really tight, really focused Metroidvania style game, and I think the scope was too large for Arkham City for a lot of people.
It was I thought they took the Joker thing, or not Joker, the Riddler problems a little too far. They were just way too elaborate to sit there and figure out.
Well, and there's too many in-game trophies where I go through the list and they're like, well, for the achievement you have to collect all 350 trophies. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. Like I'll go through and collect, what was it, 100 in the first game or something, and do all those picture aligning up things. Those were great. I'll do those, but it's too much. At some point, a game gets too big, and I don't want to do any of it, which is why I haven't played Arkham City at all. Oh, boy.
You should. The story's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I'll get to it eventually, because I sort of like the Joker story in that, but there's so many other games that I want to play first, which probably means I'll never get to Arkham City, but oh well. Next news story, rumor coming out that the next Xbox requires an always-on Kinect. The details are that the new Kinect can track 6 skeletons at once, up from 2. You can say people instead of skeletons.
Yeah.
But that's all the language that... Again, 6 meat bags at once. Better resolution on the camera, allowing for the Kinect to identify individual people this time instead of ghostly blobs. So they're sort of saying that you can... You know, like what the Kinect can do now is it can sort of tell sorta who's standing in front of the camera, but now it can say, oh yeah, that's that guy, go ahead and sign them into their profile.
That's frightening.
Which sounds like something nobody cares about, because I still don't have a house big enough to play Kinect in, so whatever. But the rumor is that the new Kinect, bundled with every console, and a hard drive would be bundled with every console, is required for basic console functionality. The wording here in this rumor, which makes it sound false, is that it must be on and calibrated for the console to even work, which doesn't... It just sounds wrong. It just sounds weird. You know, like, oh, your 360 can't turn on because you have your console. Like, that sounds like a dev kit thing.
The article that I kind of read with, I got the impression that you need to have the Kinect on to set up your console. Like, you actually forces you to use it and get used to using that interface right from just setting it up.
Oh, so like the first time you power up your next Xbox, it's like, oh, you don't have your Kinect plugged in. Plug that in so we can calibrate it.
Yeah, plugged it in, we calibrate it, and then you finish your setup using the Kinect controls.
That makes
sense. Kind of how I read it.
Yeah.
Kind of almost like, let's just give them... Like, force them to have the opportunity to get their feet wet in it and use it and see if they like it.
Yeah, like setting up your avatar using the Kinect interface. Like, because that would make more sense, where it's like, go ahead and scan me and what I'm wearing right now and make my avatar look like that. You know, that's fine. And that should be part of the basic functionality. That's why this wording was so weird in this rumor, where it's, you know, it sounds like FUD, where it's like, oh, you don't have your Kinect plugged in, your console can't turn on. That sounds
That sounds wrong.
No company is dumb enough to do that. Like, oh, I just moved and I don't have my Kinect here. Or, oh, I put my Kinect in storage for the moment, or it's across the room. I just came back from a LAN party. Oh, you can't use your next Xbox. Like that sounds dumb. And last news story that came out this morning here on Sunday is Bungie starts talking about Destiny, their brand new multi-platform game, which has not yet been announced for PC, but they've been hinting enough that it probably will eventually. So it's a shooter for 360 and PS3 with MMO-like features in a brand new sci-fi universe. So it's not in the Halo universe at all, but it's still sci-fi focused like the majority of their games, except for Myth. They're saying it's combining a first-person shooter, an open-world sandbox, and a persistent universe. Persistent universe sort of being like an MMO. Will feature multiplayer modes without traditional online matchmaking. So, a lot of what this sounds like is it sounds like they're making another first-person shooter that you can probably go into an area or like go up to a building and it's like, oh, here's a competitive arena. Oh, your friend is online. Do you want to call them over to your region so you two can shoot aliens together? I'm gonna be honest. We've railed against Halo since the show started.
Have we?
Yeah. And if anybody watched the live stream last week, we sort of addressed it saying Halo and Call of Duty, for that matter, are not bad games. They're just not the game that scratches our itch. But a game like this, I'm kind of intrigued. If you give me a third-person shooter that has a larger open world and has sort of dynamic multiplayer and cooperative stuff, I could get behind that. That sounds kind of neat. And hopefully they wouldn't try to jam the mythology down your throats, because I don't think they do that very well.
No.
Go back to the days of Marathon, where it's just kind of a game. In space, there's some aliens, shoot them with your friends. It doesn't need to be much more than that. And I could get behind that. It seems neat. Some space stuff, great.
I agree. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what they come up for a universe, and I didn't mind the mythology and the whole ethos surrounding the whole Halo universe. I just didn't like the way the game played.
Yeah.
It just didn't scratch me the right way.
Yeah. So hopefully they take the time on it. I think they have a lot to prove to themselves. Coming out from under the yoke of Halo. I'm assuming they were probably pretty sick of developing Halo games by the time they were done with that, especially since they had developed so many other types of games, so many other game franchises, I should say, not types of games. Before that I think what they're going to come out with is probably going to be pretty significantly different, so I'm excited. They say there's no price or release date, and Bungie says they have no interest and no plans in charging for the game like a subscription model like MMOs have. So, great. I wish them all the best. I'm sure they'll have a lot more stuff at E3, gameplay and all that stuff. But they have a lot of concept art right now, which is everywhere on the internet today. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting something that looks like a Quarian coming out of Bungie. But that's all our news stories, so let's take another break. Oh, I need to pull up emails. Ha ha.
Oh, Josh Sampson. I really don't want to crawl back up in my attic. I just want to take a shower and go to bed.
That sounds like a much better idea.
I'm so tired. It's exhausting crawling around a little space for a guy my size.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do this last segment? We only have one email, no tweets, no other things, so it should be pretty quick.
Cool.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about emails. Dave, a.k.a. RoboPig, writes in with our only email of the week, Says, hey guys, some quick and meaningless questions for you this week. So he has 5 this or that questions, which typically is not meaningless to us at all and starts fights. So let's get going. Number
Good
one,
thing there's only 2 of us.
yeah. Number 1, Galaga or Galaxian?
Galaga.
I like Galaga. Galaxian, something about it. It never really sat right with me. I don't know. Unnecessary. Yeah.
But do I want me to elaborate on that?
No,
It's just Galaga. Galaga's much better.
I just zoned out for a second. Number 2, Airplane or Naked Gun? Airplane.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, you can't. I love that the stewardess is in old Navy commercials now.
Yeah. I mean, Naked Gun, those movies are great, but they don't have the concentrated, unfiltered laughs per minute that Airplane. Yeah. There's every single line is a really well written joke.
Yeah, Airplane is just a fantastic movie from start to finish.
Nothing really wrong.
Naked Gun just has not aged well.
Oh, I haven't watched it lately.
Oof. It's rough.
Man, not even the juice can save it.
Nope.
Number 3, Godzilla or Gamera? Godzilla.
I gotta go with Godzilla.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Gamera.
I mean, that'd be like throwing Pookiesaurus out there.
Yeah, I was never a big Godzilla fan. I mean, it's fine, I'll watch it, but I gotta get all the tapes, not really that.
No, I wouldn't say I was that into it, but I tell you what, Saturday morning monster movies were just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like for that time and place of my childhood, it's gotta be Godzilla.
Yeah. Number 4, Akira or Princess Mononoke?
Oh, I gotta say Akira.
Akira wins out just a little bit for me. Mononoke is a great movie. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like it's as cohesive. It drags on a little bit, like some of the Studio Ghibli movies can. And Akira is just tight the whole way through and ends up really messed up. I really like that.
Yeah, I mean Akira is just, it's one of those things you're like, because you look at the cover art and you're like, oh, this thing looks neat. It's just the dude on a red bicycle.
Yeah, sure.
Not bicycle, but motorcycle, and you're like, that thing looks kind of cool. I want to see. And then it blows your mind.
Yeah. It's like the first time you watch Ninja Scroll and you're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Number 5, Sleeping Dogs or Binary Domain?
I haven't played either one of them.
For me, it's got to be Sleeping Dogs. Binary Domain is in my short list in my pile of shame, and I haven't gotten to it. I know it's not that long, and I know it's not that hard, but I really want to play it because I hear it's one of the good dumb Sega games instead of one of the bad dumb Sega games. And he says, thanks guys, I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this Alien Colonial Marines crapstorm. I was surprised to see some reviewers seeming to lose their objectivity and revel in its failure. I feel like
I think they were looking for an excuse to pile on a game, and this one just happened to be the perfect time for it.
Yeah, it's like when the Kinect, God, what was that? Oh man, the mech shooting game, the sequel to the Xbox One game that had that crazy controller.
Oh, Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion. When the Kinect one came out, that was literally unplayable. Humans cannot play that game. I feel like that was another instance. And I mean, most reviewers nowadays, they don't review everything. Because a game's going to come out for the DS, and it's going to be a 1001 Games collection, or it's going to be a My Little Pony platforming game. That's not going to be great. They just don't review it anymore. It's not the days of EGM where, Sean Baby has the back page where he just craps on 10 games at a time. This was a Gearbox game, of which Gearbox has sort of a prestige right now because of Borderlands, and it's an Aliens game that has been in development for the better part of this generation, 6-7 years, and everybody was talking up like, oh man, this is gonna be canon, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be what happens between I think the second and third movie, like it's gonna be the real true Aliens experience for games, and it let everybody down at every level, and I feel like the hyenas took that opportunity to pounce.
Oh yeah, they smelled blood in the air, and they were all over it.
Yeah, and I don't blame them because, you don't often get a game that is really, really hyped that is universally getting like 3s out of 10s. You know, most bad game, quote unquote bad games from places gets a 7. And they're like, man, you should not play this game. It's a 7 out of 10. What a stinker. You know, in this game, you know, Penny Arcade called it the forbidden numbers. You know, it's getting 2s and 3s
Yeah.
out of 10s from, I mean, just an abysmal abomination of a game. And we don't get that many. So sometimes the internet comes together and says, yeah, this game is really bad. Let's make a lot of animated GIFs about how bad it is. Yay, Tumblr.
Yeah,
So-
they've been all over the place too.
Yeah, I don't share in that revelry because I read reviews before I bought games, and the reviews were not good on this one. So we will not be crapping on it because we probably won't be playing it. Sorry. But that's all of our emails and our tweets for this week. If you'd like to visit us, tvgp.tv, emails at tvgpfans@gmail.com, watch the live stream, twitch.tv/E1M1Network, and all the other places you can get in touch with us are on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums and mark yourself on the map. Join us for Monday Night Game Night, which is tonight at 10 p.m. EST. Come shoot some zombies with us.
And don't forget that TVGP Game Club number 11 starts next Monday, the 25th. So start getting your copies of Alan Wake. It's available on PC and 360. Get all that downloadable content. Get American Nightmare. Let's get this started. And if you're interested in watching live streams or live streaming some of your own stuff, head over to the forums or just check out the deets on the games or votes for some new games. And we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Let's talk about titles. I only have 2.
Me too.
I have Melt Your Face Off Gas
Got it.
and Golfer Coup.
I have Never-Ending Wave of Dudes.
That one's not bad. Melt Your Face Off Gas is pretty good.
Yeah, it's such a good moment in the game too.
Yeah.
Because he's just so concerned and pissed that this is even happening.
Yeah. I think we gotta go with that one. I'm gonna circle it. Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 278 for February 18th, 2013. Melt Your Face Off Gas.
Cyst be damned.
Alright. We are good. Thank you, everybody, for watching the live stream. We'll see you next week. I might do live stream testing later for my 360, so watch the Twitter account. Bye!
Catch you on a 2-2-2.